All right, here we go with Match Me Abroad, Season 1, Episode 2, Make Me a Match. And we start this one with Stanica, and she's video calling her matchmaker, Nina, about last minute things. She's getting nervous, she's getting ready to fly over there. This is going to be her first ever date, so no pressure, right? The matchmaker is explaining to her that she's going to have someone pick her up at the airport. And I'm impressed again. Usually you watch these shows and half of the time, like on the normal 90 Day Fiancé, they don't show up at the airport, or the person flies halfway across the world and then has to take like a 6-hour taxi and a train and a horse and buggy to get to wherever these people live. So it's nice that like they won't have that anxiety of showing up. They know who's going to be there. So they're continuing to talk, and she explains to her that once she gets there and gets settled, she's ready for her first date. She seems a little nervous. She's asking, oh, what's he look like? And all she's willing to tell her is that he's tall. She said she normally doesn't send pictures of the clients to each other because she wants like a genuine connection, which I think is cool. Nina's feeling a little pressure because she's never set someone up on their first date. And Stanica's nervous because she don't even know how to go on a date. So they get their last minute jitters and talks out of the way, and Stanica gets on a plane and flies over there. And when she lands, she gets off, and there's this tall, beautiful piece of man, like, waiting with her name on a sign to pick her up. This woman, she was like, oh, hopefully he was her first date, right? So he says hi to her and helps her load up her luggage and gives her a ride to the hotel. And that's where they end with her for now. So then we make our way over to Susan in Colombia, and she's hanging out with her dog, Calliope, and she's like, do you want some wine? Yeah, it was wine. You want some wine? And the puppy's like, yes, I've been dry for days. You flew me all the way over here. I could use a drink. So her and the dog call room service, and they don't have wine there. So, bummer. Then she gets ready and she makes her way to the pool area to meet her matchmaker, Juan. And luckily, he brought a bottle of wine and saved the day. So they're sitting and talking, and he tells her her first date will be tonight with a man named Miguel. And he's 43, so she's like, good, he still has all his hair, right? Usually men who are 43 still have all their hair. She's got a big deal with this because she's mentioned it at least twice. We're on episode 2. So Juan continues to talk about how Susan has such a long list of requirements for what she wants in a partner. And he thinks that the reason is so if the list is so long, no one can meet it. She don't have to let no one in, right? Because no one can live up to that. He's going down the list, attractive, financially stable, all his hair, malleable, which he didn't know what that meant. Honestly, I think that means easily to adapt, but I'm not sure. Adventurous, likes pets. He was going on for 20 or 30 things, and even the interviewer was like, oh, you're still going? He said, yeah. Basically, no one's going to meet this list, but he's hoping Miguel has enough qualities that she'll be able to start to gauge if that's what she really wants or not. I like him a lot more than I thought I was going to last week. Because last week I was thinking he wanted to change her, but now I feel more like he's trying to open to her eyes to what she's doing wrong. You know, if you have impossible expectations, how's anyone going to make their way in there? Nobody's perfect. I'm sure she isn't. So they move on from there. They're both hoping for the best on this date. The dog, Calliope, is having a nice little nap next to her, so I think she got her wine. Her nerves are good. So, moving on. So then we move on to Nathalie. She is 25 from California, and she is a first generation Sri Lankan American. So she grew up in a very traditional Sri Lankan household. Her family obviously is very traditional, so they want her to have an arranged marriage. She's not feeling that. She definitely wants to find true love and someone she wants to be with rather than someone her parents just decided for her. So her mom picks her up and they get in the car, and the mom starts talking about how the daughter has turned down all the proposals, and Nathalie explains that the proposals are like an arranged marriage, but they pretty much show you a photo and they're like, oh, you think they're cute? Okay, get married. Something like that. She's tried dating in the Sri Lankan community, but she doesn't feel a connection with them. She just doesn't get the sparks. So at one point she was studying somewhere, and there was some Colombian men in her class, and she liked how comfortable they were like with sexuality because she's not comfortable in that way. She also said that her mom controls every aspect of her dating life, which sounds like a nightmare to me because our parents don't always know what we like or what we need or who we need. I mean, they might have the best intentions, but that's not always for us. So she also said she's had like this internal struggle between her American side and her Sri Lankan side. And she's 25. I don't understand why marriage is being pushed on her, but that's not my culture. I can't say I know anything about it, but I know a lot of cultures expect you to get married really young, and if I had gotten married when I was 25, yikes. So then she starts talking about, she also likes that Colombian men use a bidet because she really likes men with clean booties and hygiene. That was great. Her and her mom, they start shopping for clothes for when she goes to Colombia, and her mom doesn't seem like thrilled because she's like, what should I get? And her mom's like, eh. She didn't know. And then her mom is saying, just because you're going there doesn't mean I'm going to stop looking for a husband for you. She goes on to say how she just really believes the love of her life is in Colombia and she's going to find her soulmate. And that's why she hired a matchmaker. As soon as I heard Colombia, I was thinking, is it Juan? And sure enough, it's definitely Juan. This man is busy. Colombian matchmaking is popping. So he's her matchmaker. So we get to see a lot of Juan this season. Hopefully he's tolerable. Juan starts talking about how each client has their own little, quirks or things that are an obstacle. And for Nathalie, it's her mom wants to be the matchmaker and control everything. And he said he's a better matchmaker than mom's, so looks like it's going to be the battle between mom and Juan to see who can find her husband. I'm thinking it's going to be Juan because she has her heart set on a Colombian man. So I'm rooting for her. Hopefully she finds someone. Then we move on to Harold, my favorite. And he shows up at the airport and he's excited and he's running on adrenaline. And this woman, his matchmaker, shows up to meet him. And she's like, he reminds me of a little boy. And then she's upset because he appears shorter than 5'8". She's like, you look more like 5'6". He's like, well, I don't know, maybe I shrunk. Sure, he hasn't measured himself in a while. Then they get in the car and she's like, do you always wear these bracers? She called them, which we call suspenders over here. He's like, yeah, my weight fluctuates, so I like the suspenders. She was upset about the height thing because if he's not honest with her, how could he be honest with future partners? She just seems to be picking at him, and I don't like it because she's there to work for him, not to mold him into what she needs him to be for her success rate. So then we go back to Shanika, and she is looking beautiful. I love her outfit, all the colors. She has been on a weight loss journey, which is something that I can relate to, and there's nothing like losing a bunch of weight and you can put on clothes and just look like beautiful in it. So I think that's awesome. She's getting ready to go on her first date, but before she's going to meet Nina. So she walks to the little cafe food spot that they're going to meet, and they finally get to meet, and she starts talking to her, and she's like, I'm nervous to see if you can pick quality men. And Nina's like, I got you, girl. And she starts saying how the men in Morocco will help her feel confident and attractive and wanted and all this stuff that American men don't really know how to treat women anymore. Not sure how I feel about that. I think some can and some can't, just like anywhere. So I'm excited for her. They're talking about why she doesn't know how to date. She says she just never really had the opportunity. Nina starts telling her about the guy she's going on a date with. I remember her saying he's 6'5", and he's a successful tour guide there. And his name is Noureddin. Pretty sure I pronounced that right. Hopefully. She said, Noureddin's gonna love you. He loves American women. He wants to go to America. I'm shocked. I'm sure he's a great guy. And then this girl is gonna tell her matchmaker, oh, you coming on the date with me, right? Ah! That's gonna be good. She said she never does that unless they don't speak the same language. But I doubt she matchmakes people who don't speak the same language. So that's gonna be great and interesting. And I'm excited to see her first date, how it plays out. Hoping for the best. Maybe Nina will sneak out after a few minutes, Hopefully. Stanika and Nina get into the taxi and they drive off to the date. And she was planning on wearing heels, but she switched to her tennis shoes because it's a walking tour. And they pull up. She gets out of the car. They show this man. He's dressed beautifully. Got a nice haircut. He has flowers. Oh, flowers. Who doesn't love flowers, right? Let me know if you love flowers. She gets out, and of course, in true fashion of these shows, that's where that cuts off. So I'm guessing we're going to have to wait another week to see her first date. But I'm excited. Do you think it's going to go well? I hope it goes well. We move on to Susan, and she's getting ready for her date with Miguel. And I love the black and white combo. It's my favorite. And then we move into Juan talking about how Susan's so sure she wants someone handsome and wealthy and this and that and all his hair. And this is a test for her to see if she knows what she wants. So it gave me the feeling that he knows this isn't going to go well. They sit down. First thing she notices, he's gorgeous, handsome, beautiful. Has all his hair, right? And they start a conversation. And immediately, everything she says, he's one-upping her. She's like, I like to travel. Oh, me too. I've been here. Oh, well, I spent 3 months in Spain before the pandemic. So, he's one of those people who everything you've done, he's done, and then done it better. She continues to try to talk to him on the date, and everything she says, he cuts her off. She starts talking. She immediately is like, I just want out of here. The waiter comes over to get their order, and she's like, yeah, just snacky little foods. And he just proceeds to just completely order for them. She needs a minute. She takes off to the bathroom. She tells the producer, like, yeah, this ain't a love connection. This is not it for me. And they're asking him how it's going. He's like, great, she's cute. I just love to just let her talk. He hasn't let her say 5 words. Maybe he's nervous talking. I don't know, but nowhere in that did this woman get to talk. And if she did, see, oh yeah, I've done that. Yep. I do that better. I did that more. I've been more places. What? What do you guys think? Nightmare date? Am I right? Oh my gosh. So she's in the bathroom and she says, I wanted snacky food and he ordered steak. Snake. They probably could have had some. Anyway, she said, we're going to have to sit here and like have a whole meal now because he ordered a steak. She's going on about this. She makes her way back out there and you can just tell she just immediately wants to leave. But she doesn't want to be rude. And all of a sudden you hear just like rain and thunder and it just starts pouring on them. Jesus took pity on her and called up Thor, the god of thunder, and had him bring together all the clouds in Colombia and put them over these two to get her away from this man. So they go running inside, and he doesn't even run with her so they can stand together. He's on the other side. They come back out. He's like, oh, let's get dessert. And she's like, no, I'm out of here. I'm going to go. I'm all wet. This hasn't been great. I don't feel a love connection. He asked her about going on another date, and that's what she said. No love connection. So he's kind of bummed. He's like, she didn't even get a chance to know me. We got to start as friends. We're from the other side of the world. So I don't think he understood why she didn't like him. This girl is ready to call up Juan and get her money back because she did not sign up for someone like arrogant, and she called him a dick several times. So that's what she thought about that. She gets in the car with Juan too, the guy who's the assistant driver, and she just says, no bueno. No bueno. So nobody's getting a tip this evening. And that was what happened on episode 2 of Match Me Abroad. I'm still feeling out this show. I'm not sure if I love it yet or hate it, but I'm enjoying doing this. So let me know what you think about it. Like the video, subscribe if you wanna. That'd be pretty cool. See you guys next time. Bye.